And for 3 glorious minutes, all of English rugby owed the Ospreys, with Sam Underhill beating Beauden Barrett, who he made look like a ferret checking to see if ferrets have tails, to score the winner that wasn't against the All Blacks with just minutes to go. But with one call so deliciously tight to discuss, it's easy to forget that an entire game was won and lost in the 79 minutes either side of it. So how did New Zealand win a game England looked to have sewn up, and what of that England needlework in the first place? England managed the first 10 minutes exceptionally well. Ashton's try was very well worked. England punching the ball up, their backline drifting left, causing the world's most Aryan-looking Maori, Damien McKenzie, to leave the wing wide open. Farrell's drop goal then exhibited great game management as England built a lead. After all, no matter how many think pieces are written on the issue, there's only one way to beat the All Blacks. Score more points. You can do this by scoring tries, by kicking points, by poisoning their kitchens. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that you keep registering points. And as such, England didn't lose because of one TMO decision. They lost because they didn't score a single point after the 23rd minute. When a team goes 15-0 up after 23 minutes, you often see one of two things happen. Either they take their foot off the throat, assuming their opponent is already good as dead, or they develop a kind of false confidence and assume, because they floored their opponent with their first punch, it'll be easy to hit them that sweetly again. England became cocky, which will make a nice change for them. In the second half, they turned down kickable penalties to look for a try. Just because Fat Ashton had managed to recreate Skinny Ashton's try-scoring heroics, they stopped looking for the points when they were available. Elliot Daly could line up a shot from a different time zone and still nail the kick. And yet England opted to play for position, thinking they had the measure of the All Blacks' defence. Weirdly, this seems to be a consistent problem for England. This is the third game this year where England haven't scored after the 25th minute, and in a further 2, all their points came in either the first 20 or the last 10. New Zealand, however, never have this problem. A couple of months ago, I made a whole video about how Beauden Barrett probably thinks a drop goal is a piece of jargon from a fitness craze, and the All Blacks are too focused on scoring tries rather than scoring points, but they'll work through this and develop other ways to win by Japan. Turns out I got the wrong trip to Japan, with Bodie dropping a goal and the team very much grinding out the win. They switched their whole game up. Normally the entire team plays with a combination of Snecky Toilet by Aaron Smith and a forward first receiver, freeing Barrett to do his own thing. But on Saturday, everything came off Barrett, with him even performing the clearance kicks and dropping deep to kick tactically. This was needed because New Zealand's usual game was not quite firing. The All Blacks' normal game plan is all about generating quick ball, but this was hindered by a combination of rain and Sam Underhill, which incidentally is a couple of cheap curry houses off being a complete list of reasons to visit Swansea circa 2016. England did an excellent job of disrupting the All Blacks' ball on the whole, but New Zealand only need a few phases of fast ball to tear you apart. Except knowing they were dealing with England's excellent line speed, the All Blacks team weren't focused on going for tries as usual, just working into position to go for points. They knew they only needed 16 of the blighters to win the game, and they made sure they got them through any means necessary. This was the kind of game that actually benefits both sides. England now know they have the gears to take on anyone, and Eddie Jones' team selection was spot on, bringing in Teo to work as an extra carrying option with the Vunipolas unsurprisingly injured. And the All Blacks now know they can win games without relying on rugby as arousing as a Tommy Bone nude, while still keeping Magic Boy Bodie in the team. Also, Brodie Italic is excellent. Seriously, he's maybe 40% the player Alan Wynne-Jones is. That's 39% higher than any other lock in the world. He's so good. He's just a really, really good rugby player. Right, well, that's the other 79 minutes dealt with. Should we go into the big talking point of the match? Should we do that? So, there's 2 questions to ask here. Number 1, is Courtney Lawes offside? And number 2, if so, why is Courtney Lawes offside? Question 1. The answer to question 1 is yes. Yes, Courtney Lawes is offside. Question 2 is a bit less simple, but a lot more fun. 18 months ago, that was a try, because 18 months ago, the offside line was different, therefore putting Lawes onside. Before last September, in order for an offside line to be created, players from both sides had to enter a breakdown. As such, the law stated that the offside line started at the back foot of the furthest back defending team player in that ruck. However, as of last September, an offside line is now created when a player from either team enters rather than both. As such, you can't rely on there being a defending team player there anymore. So the offside line is now the back foot, in general, regardless of the team. The All Blacks have been using this tactically for months, creating extra space by having those in the breakdown step far forward over the ruck, forcing back the offside line and hence the defending team. So they take an extra step forward to abuse this law and create an offside line that now catches Lawes. So, to recap, had the ruck law not been changed, there would have been no need for the offside law to change, and hence Lawes, the player, not the concept, would have been well within his rights to charge that kick down, and Underhill's try would have stood. But unfortunately, something happened last year to change those ruck laws. Does anyone remember what it was?
It wasn't rugby, it wasn't rugby. Let's be serious. It wasn't rugby today.
Do you think this might usher in a law change, Eddie, this game?
Well, I don't think anyone wants to see a game like that, do they? No one likes to see rugby not played in its proper form, so I think the World Rugby got to have a very close look at it.
Oh yeah, it was that. So if Eddie Jones hadn't acted like a petulant child and thrown his 21-point win out the pram because another coach outfought him, his side would have beaten the All Blacks the weekend, and the Ospreys would have been the most popular club in England. But as it is, the laws did change, England lost the match, and the only person who likes the Ospreys outside Swansea is recording this video. Oh well. No, I don't normally do like, comment, subscribe. I don't normally say that. I'm not sure why. I just feel a bit, I don't know, I'm not quite comfortable with it. And no, I'm not going to give out your Snapchat. Anyway, sorry, right. This is Onion. He just wanted to quickly say thank you. I want to make an appearance in one of these because he's getting quite prima donna-ish. He's appearing in quite a few of the videos and he hasn't got a chance to introduce himself properly. So he just wants to say hi. And I just want to say thank you for watching the video. Again, I worked quite hard on it over the last few days, so thank you to turn it out as quickly as I can. And thank you to everyone that's continued to support the channel on Patreon. Thank you to Rugby Warfare for continuing to sponsor the channel, SQ20, if you want to get 20% off on any of their high-end rugby goods. I also want to thank England fans for being so gracious in losing on a controversial refereeing decision, because heaven knows you haven't benefited from any of those in the last year. And I knew, was anyone else you wanted to? I'm not saying that. Yeah, cheers. Bye.